Now then, everybody, so this is King Arthur Legends Rise. I've been trying it out for the last few days, a couple of hours each day, sort of thing. Nothing too much. Been pretty impressed with it so far. It's very nicely designed. All of the champions they all look really good. They have good designs. There's the main man himself, Arthur. And if you have played other games similar to this, like Hero Collector type games, there will be a lot of comparisons that you can make. So, for example, like myself, I played a lot of Raid. So, pretty much when I've been playing this, I've been comparing this to that. And there's a lot that this game does that's more sort of player friendly. As you're playing through the early campaign, essentially teaching you different sections, you get to the point where you unlock summoning, and you get like your free summons that it gives you, and then it gives you a free legendary champion which everyone gets, which is Morgan. So everyone gets her. And then as you then following through the campaign even more, you then unlock Tristan as well. So essentially through the early campaign, you get two legendary champions, which just doesn't really happen in Raid at all. You get some daily login champions. So early on, you get two epic daily login champions for your first 2 weeks, and then it's something stupid like Sill of the Drakes is at 180 days of constant logins on Raid. So that's your first free legendary that you get. Like 180, and I had Tristan in like 2 to 3 days of only playing an hour or two. So that's two in the space of like 5 or 6 hours. So essentially in your first day, if you were playing it enough. That's brilliant. And then as well, you get three a day. You get 3 free normal summons, which can only go up to rare, which is fine. Which, if you were to compare to Raid, you've got the marketplace, where you can potentially sometimes have rare shards in there, ancient shards, but you only ever get 5 a month in the marketplace on Raid. So, and then you still have to pay silver to get them shards, and then pay again to summon them. So it's one of those where getting 3 free potentially rare summons a day on here for now, it doesn't cost you anything, is quite nice. And then also the Plaza Fountain here generates XP potions for you, which would be similar to the Guardian Ring in Raid, where you've got one slot free where you just put a champion in and it gives them XP over time. But then if you want to improve the rate at which it trains them, you have to pay gems. If you want to unlock up to 4 more slots, you have to pay gems, and then individually upgrade each of those slots for more gems. The marketplace in here gives you actually useful things for upgrading your champions, where in Raid it gives you sweet FA, apart from, like I said, the odd shards if you're lucky. You also then get a free reroll each day as well, so you can buy all these up, reroll, buy them all up again, and then from there I believe it's gems. If you then wanted to reroll the market over and over again. The Forge, similar to how the market in Raid worked, where it gives you bits of gear. So at the minute, the Forge is level 1. I haven't got to the point where I can upgrade anything yet, so I don't know if potentially once the Forge upgrades, the bits of gear upgrade. Essentially then it might follow the progression of your account. As you progress, the gear progresses, which again, it doesn't happen in Raid. Once you get to a certain point, all of the gear that's in the market is crap. Mage's Tower, it gives you can get resources that are needed for upgrading champions, where you can upgrade them, and it's passively giving you the basic ones of these over time as well, so you're always getting the basic stones. Even if you're AFK and you don't come on for a day, you just collect them stones up that are there ready, similar to your XP. You grab them, and then you can then turn the crap ones into better ones. So there's always progression as well, so you can always be working your lesser materials into higher ones, which again, you can't do in Raid. So, for example, like your Chaos Ore to reroll your stats in Raid, you can only use the very specific one to that bit of gear. And then if you're beyond using the lower level gear, you can't make it any better. It's just sat there doing anything. Same with like your enchantment glyphs. If you've got 1-star glyphs, they're just sat there, you can't make them any better. So even something like that in Raid would go well, where you maybe turn 10 level 1s into like 5 level 2, like just something like that. You maybe it cuts in half every time. The 10 level 1s become 5 level 2s, and then you'd obviously have to then take 4 level 2s to make 2 level 3s, and then them 2 level 3s make 1 level 4. Just something like that. So night training camp, these basic trainings, this is just challenges you can do, the very specific setups, the way that it works. So once you figure them out, you do what you need to do, you finish it, and you get rewards along the way. Just helping you understand the various mechanics of the game in the training camp, which is nice. Restricted area is, from what I have seen so far, is essentially just like your dungeons and stuff. So I've currently unlocked 2 of the power-up dungeon, where this one, it gives you the bits you need to rank up your champions. And this one, it gives you gold, so you can farm gold. Who'd have thought? And then XP potions as well. Now, I haven't unlocked to the point of relic power-ups yet, so I'm not quite sure how these all work as of yet, but they're probably similar to like ranking up your gear in Raid. The relics are sort of like the main weapon set that your champion has, so if I was to relic, there we go. So when you eventually unlock them, you can change your character to be one of the 3 elements, which is essentially like the 3 affinities in Raid. So you've got fire, frost, and storm. I think it's storm, or is it wind? I don't know. But essentially these are like the same. It's red, blue, and green. And they form a triangle like in Raid, where one's stronger than the other, one's weaker to the other, whatnot. But each champion can unlock the weapon, or in this case, relic, that turns them into the other one. And then as you're entering a battle, you can literally just select which one they go to, and it changes up their abilities as well. So they become specialized in different aspects. And then equipment dungeon, where you can farm different sets of gear. And then obviously there's varying different levels of difficulty which improve obviously the quality of the gear you're getting from it. Same with, for example, the material ones. It improves over time in difficulty till you're getting the best. Something that I've been a really big fan of, which I shall show you. We'll just do we'll do this dungeon quickly. The visuals are brilliant so far. I'm going to slow this down. Now you can see here, you can go up to 3 times speed in battles, which is, again, better than Raid. It's only 2 times, and sometimes when you're just setting things away in Raid, like farming dungeons over and over, you have to sort of like set it and forget it and just leave it for hours, potentially. So having the extra increase in speed just speeds things up so much quicker. I mean, you can see here though, some of the visuals so far, they're just fantastic. You can change the camera angle as well. And you can also change to have like a cinematic view, I believe. I don't know if you can do it in this, but in the campaign, you can have more of a cinematic view where it's sort of like when every champion's doing their attack, it sort of like jumps to them, and you see it closer up. Whether you're a fan of that or not, don't know. I quite personally prefer, it's probably because I'm used to Raid, just sitting and watching the whole overall view of it. So that's how I've got it. But yeah, we'll put it on 2 times, like I say. You can see it's obviously sped up, and then up to 3 times. Just makes things so much faster. Then you've got auto battle as well, so I can turn it off, and then I get to choose what they're doing. Yeah, the victory screen when it first does this, it's who your MVP is. So Arthur then was the MVP. And then it shows you what you got. So we got gold and experience portions. Another thing I've been a really big fan of is in the story when you come onto a new chapter and you're about to start it, you get these nice cinematics. Essentially it's a puppet show. I'm going to show it here, but they're brilliant. Everything's really well voice acted. It doesn't sound like essentially as if the voice actors were cringing when they were doing it. It sounds like really good, and these are just really entertaining. So I'll just play one quickly.
Upon pulling Excalibur from the stone, Arthur was crowned King of Camelot. However, the horrors of war soon extinguished the love the people had for their king. Now, Arthur must fight to regain their devotion and
Yeah, like I say, you can see it's just entertaining. All it does is it gives you a brief introduction of what's happening in the chapter that you're about to start. What normally happens, so I'll show you here. You then enter the main story, and then you drop into the game essentially like a normal RPG style game where you can just run around, and then you follow the footsteps. That don't know if you can see them there. Yeah, so you follow the footsteps. That takes you to the next objective, and then you do the stage fights as you're living out the story, so to say, rather than, for example, in Raid where you just click a stage and it just drops you straight in the fight and that's it. There's no, and the story segments are only given at sort of like when you first do it, the very beginning of a chapter and the very end, and then that's it. You never that's, and I don't think I've ever known anybody actually read the story in Raid because it's just not presented that well, to be fair. Whereas this has got a more of a role playing game kind of vibe to it. Like as you can see, it all looks fantastic. We're gonna go back to the keep, and then you can do PvP as well. I've not long unlocked that in the Colosseum, so you can jump in again. You pick who you want to fight, similar to like PvP in a lot of the other games. You can join a clan, and obviously you can get daily check-in rewards. And then there's missions every day that you have every day as well, not like every week. And then everyone's on a mad mission to try and pick up the ones that they can do, which then cuts out everyone else. Group missions, which everyone works towards. There is clan raids, where again it's a bit like clan bosses, but every time these are defeated, the whole like it jumps up another level to a harder difficulty. But obviously, for me, I joined into this clan that was already way further ahead than what I am at. So even when we're on level 5, I think a couple of days ago, I tried to jump into a battle and I just got absolutely demolished. So all I'll do is I'll just keep progressing in the game and I'll just wait until this resets. And I believe it should go then back to raid level 1, and then you go again all the way through. And obviously, raid level 1, when you've got higher level people, will just get absolutely trounced and then you'll just jump up. But at least then I can be trying to contribute a bit. Now you got your daily missions like you do in other games as well, so you just come in and do them every day, weeklies and monthlies. But then this power up guide, it's sort of a bit like gives you an idea what you should be doing, what things you can do and try and progress, and everything gives you rewards, so that's pretty good. And again, you get a free thing every day. The only thing I don't like, which can I see it here? Yeah, so one of these 3 things. It's just a little thing, but when you then click it, it's the fact that it says buy, which it's not that much of a problem, but I feel like it's just sort of like it's kind of training you a little bit to just become happy with seeing the buy button, so that you might kind of be tricked into accidentally clicking something, thinking you've clicked the free thing, and then you just see buy and you think nothing of it. Where if the free things said claim or something along those lines, then your brain would know the difference. So if you saw buy when it would normally say claim, you'd be like, oh no, I don't want to buy that. So it's just one of those sort of like little tricks that they've probably thrown in there just to sort of maybe catch the odd person out here and there. Most people wouldn't get caught out by it, but it just adds a possibility just from having a word there. Yeah, so far, like I say, really impressed with what I've been seeing so far. So I'm going to continue to play this and see where we get to. See if it gets to a point where the sort of pay to win aspect of most of these games sort of kicks in. See if it gets overly difficult without doing it. Uh, See if they sort of, because usually what sort of happens is when these sort of new games come out in the beginning, when they do seem really player friendly, it does seem to happen for a while, but then once they start earning money, they do sort of kind of start turning their ways to pushing more towards putting more stuff in for you to buy, kind of more pointing you towards it, and then they get to the point like Raid where it's just blatant in your face. It's like, if you want to keep up with everybody else, you've got to buy all this stuff. If you're interested in seeing any more of this, let us know, and I might do another one in the future. Once I've got a bit further in the game, I'll just sort of leave it for now. I'm not going to sort of do often videos like I do in Raid, but if it is something you want to see, just let us know, and I'll catch you in the next one. Cheers.